Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are going to be doing an anti-haul. I have not done one of these in a really long time. I also haven't discussed like new product launches in a long time. So I figured I would do an anti-haul because there wasn't a ton that I was interested in that's been released lately anyway. So any discussion of new launches would have probably turned into an anti-haul either way. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have some tea here in my Central Perk mug. We're gonna talk a little bit of shit, do a little dance, make a little love, you know. I apologize if the lighting gets weird. It looks really good right now, but I forgot that when the days get shorter, the sun comes into my filming room like way earlier. So I'm filming when I normally do, but like I'm gonna have to start filming earlier because, you know, I feel like the sun is gonna be in my eyes the whole time. So if I'm squinting at you, I'm not giving you the stink eye. So yeah, let's just get started. I don't have a ton to update you guys on lately. Oh, we are moving, I guess, in a few weeks. That's a pretty big update. Have I still started packing? No. I'll keep you updated on that. We'll see when I actually start packing. We're supposed to move for December 1st, but I don't see it happening, honestly. The house that we are going to be moving to is affiliated with Ryan's boss. So Ryan's boss is very particular about cleanliness, and he says that the house is not clean enough for us to move in yet. So whether or not that will be the case before December 1st is the real question. Once I get the go-ahead, I'll start packing, but I don't want to have just like random boxes lying in my house when I don't even know what date I'm going to be able to move them, you know? Anyway, enough about that. I guess that is kind of an update, but other than that, literally nothing's changed in my life, except for some new product launches. So I have some launches to talk about. Okay, so first up is a launch by ColourPop, of course. I feel like there's always at least a couple ColourPop launches in my anti-haul videos because they launch so much. You can't like everything that they put out, you know what I mean, when there's that many. So this one that I want to talk about, I think I have another ColourPop launch that I want to talk about, but this first one is the Roaring Hearts collection. It comes with an eyeshadow palette that's not really in a configuration they do very often. I haven't really seen an eyeshadow palette that looks like that since, I want to say, the Candyland collection, and I was not interested in that whatsoever. And I remember Smoky Glow talking about how terrible the quality was. So that kind of put me off of this one, even though it is neutrals. Oh, also packaging, beautiful, so amazing. I think my friend Lizzie said she really likes the loose highlighters, so maybe I would pick one of those up. But the collection as a whole, I'm just not feeling it. I really like, you know, the vibe of it, and I think a neutral eyeshadow palette does really go with that theme, because if you look back to makeup in the 1920s, I think it's 1920s inspired. You know, they had the red lips and they have red lipsticks in this collection. They have a range actually, but the eye makeup was very neutral, so it makes sense. I don't know, it's just, it's not the most exciting to me, I guess, just because it is mostly neutrals. So I'm just kind of indifferent about this collection. Watch I get it in PR, because every time I say I don't like a ColourPop launch, they send it to me. I don't know what that's about. And then I'm forced to review it, and oftentimes, well, not forced, but like if I have it, I may as well review it, right? And then I usually like it, but it's not something I would like spend my money on, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, it's just kind of boring to me. The only thing I'd be interested in are the loose highlighters. I think the lip colors are the Fresh Kiss like glossy lip balms or lip lacquers or whatever it is, and I already have a bunch of those. I have a video on it. I'll link it in the cards up above, but I already have a lot of shades of that. So whenever they launch more of them, I'm like, nah, no thanks. I did a very strong cheek today, and I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. I think I like it because it snowed for the first time last night. I don't know, I feel like this look is kind of holiday-ish. We have like a rosy lip. This is the shade Best Intentions from the Of Course collection. I really liked this shade, and I really haven't stopped wearing it since. But since it snowed last night, and then I went to go check the mail this morning, and I came back and my cheeks were all flushed, and I was like, I'm feeling a strong cheek. But now that it's actually on, I don't know. I don't know. This video is probably going to be very rambly. I apologize in advance. But next up, I want to talk about Ariana Grande's first beauty launch. I'm so upset because I love Ariana Grande. I was just really expecting more. And I'll be honest, like, it's not about the products. Like, the eyeshadow palette looks like nothing special, but it looks pretty. It looks solid to me. The thing that is really annoying me is the packaging, because this looks like something that I would have bought from Claire's as a child. And I get where she's trying to go with it. I know she's trying to be like all like futuristic outer space kind of vibes, but I feel like this could have been done in a less cheap looking way. Now this is just going off of the pictures, obviously. I don't know if it's available, like, is it an Ulta brand or is it just on the Rem Beauty website? Is it gonna be at Sephora? I don't know, because I would like to see it in person before I, you know, purchase anything, because the packaging just looks so incredibly cheap to me. And I just think she could have done futuristic in a much cooler, more luxe kind of way, versus this looks very kids makeup-y. I don't know if that's making sense. It looks like just like standard, you know, private label packaging. I don't know. I'm just, I was really disappointed because I love Ariana and I was really excited to see what she came out with, because she often is so creative with like her music videos and stuff like that. So her being kind of the creative mind behind a beauty brand, I was really intrigued and I had high hopes. And I was let down. That being said, this is only her first launch, so hopefully there will be something that piques my interest in the future. But this first launch is just not doing it for me. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. I have heard conflicting opinions about the launch, whether people like it or don't, so I would be interested in knowing yours. Please leave it in the comments down below. But for me, it's a pass. This first launch anyway. Okay, next up, I want to talk about a new Tarte collection. Why is Tarte launching the Tartelette Full Bloom palette going into winter? That is my question. Why was this not a spring launch? The packaging is so springy and cute, and the palette's not bad, honestly. The reason why I'm anti-hauling this is because I don't like Tarte's formula anymore. I used to really like it a lot, but it's kind of like a similar thing to Urban Decay, where I feel like eyeshadow formulas have progressed so much since the time of like the Naked palettes and the Tartelette in Bloom, Tartelette Toast, like all of those. I feel like eyeshadow formulas have improved so much and for much more affordable pricing. And I just don't like Tarte's formula anymore, especially not the mattes. They're very, very chalky to me. And I used to love the Tartelette in Bloom palette. That used to be like one of my favorites. And now I go to use it and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, it's just, it's not a good palette to me anymore. And that makes me sad because I really did enjoy it. I feel like this almost dries down to like a liquid lipstick. So comfortable because it feels a lot thinner than a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't really have any transfer. That's a kiss test. I'm so impressed by this lip color. Wow, maybe I'll have to buy a couple for my kit. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I'm not gonna purchase this. I just don't like Tartelette's, or not Tartelette, but Tarte's formula anymore. But the palette is really pretty. Is it something that we haven't seen from Tarte before? Probably not. I'm trying to think. I know they do launch like bigger palettes around the holidays and stuff, but I don't think we've seen anything quite this big from Tarte before, so I don't know. I do kind of like it, and I would especially be interested in this for my kit. This looks like it would be a great kit palette, especially for bridal looks that, you know, do really pull more neutral oftentimes, but it's just the quality. Maybe they've improved their formula. I would be interested in swatching this in person, but I doubt it. Honestly, Tarte doesn't really take feedback very often, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is just, you know, the old formula that they've never updated. Okay, next up is a collection by NYX, and I don't know why, but almost every collab NYX does, I really dislike. So this is a collection from NYX, obviously, in collaboration with Money Heist, and it's supposed to be celebrating the season finale, I guess. I think this is really creepy. I don't know. I don't like that show. I think Ryan did try to get into it. I don't know if he was successful because I don't think he watches it much anymore, but I just think that palette is too big. If we're not even like looking at the collab portion of it, the palette is too big and a little too basic for me. I'm just not really into large color stories like that right now. And if I am gonna purchase a large color story, it needs to be really special, and this just isn't it. There's a couple gold shades that honestly look so similar to each other. The reds look very similar to each other. I just don't think there's like enough going on here for me to want to purchase it. And the collab portion like doesn't really speak to me. I find it kind of creepy. I'm easily scared, so I especially don't want this looking guy staring at me ever. So yeah, this will be a pass for me. That highlighter does look kind of pretty though. Almost like a gold bar highlighter. Who launched that? What brand was that? It did like the gold bar. Was it Too Faced? I don't remember, but that one does look kind of pretty, but the rest of it, it's a big no from me. Next up, oh, I was kind of disappointed by, I mean, I was disappointed by all of this, but especially this one because I usually really enjoy seeing what this brand comes out with. This is the new Outer Dimension face palette by Lunar Beauty. I have a lot of thoughts. Let me gather them quickly. Okay, so first off, let's start with the packaging. It reminds me very much of the Nikita Dragun face palette packaging. I don't like faces on my makeup products. I think that's what I'm learning. The Nikita Dragon face palette really freaks me out, that outer packaging, and this kind of reminds me of that. Just because it's in a moon doesn't make it any better for me. And I don't know, man, I'm not a huge fan of face palettes because I won't get the use out of every single shade. So I'd rather see like multiple versions of a face palette, or even if this was like a trio, and I can't see myself like wanting to include this for my kit because I don't think it goes quite deep enough. One thing I do like is that it's kind of, you know, supposed to be like phases of the moon around the palette. I think that is really creative and really cool. For a makeup artist, it doesn't go deep enough if I'm going to use it that way, but for personal use, I wouldn't get enough use out of like half of these shades at least. So that's why I am not interested in this, plus the face, it just freaks me out. I think he did launch some glosses with it. I think that's what these are. Oh no, they're liquid lipsticks. Oh no, there's there's 3 glosses and 1 liquid lipstick. I do want to still try his gloss formula. Ever since Raw Beauty Christy raved about it, I really want to try his gloss formula. I just haven't yet. So maybe I'd purchase a gloss, but probably not if we're being honest, because I just don't have the funds to do that right now. But yeah, the face palette is a definite pass. Oh, I haven't even moved over so I can put my pictures here. I've just been blabbing this whole time. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. I'm sorry, guys. Wow, I'm so annoyed with myself. Okay. Well, next up we have, I don't even know what brand this is. Oh, Makeup Revolution. Are we surprised? Not really. This is the Makeup Revolution and e.l.f. collab. They collaborated with the intellectual property of e.l.f. The palette is really pretty. It's just too big for me and I can't see the quality being good. It's so cute that it's called Cotton Headed Nitty Muggins. The glosses look cute because they're like candy cane striped. Again, the reason I'm not really into this isn't because it's not cute. Like, I think they did a solid job. It's just, I can't see the quality being good. The quality usually isn't great with collabs like this. It does come with like a body butter though, which is kind of cool. Snowball bath fizzers, like that's kind of cute. And it's like a little syrup bottle for body wash. Oh, that's adorable. I do think that they did do this collab justice. I just don't really want it. Does that make sense? It just looks kind of cheap, I guess. I don't know what I would be expecting either. I don't know how they could do an e.l.f. collab that would make me want to buy it though, because now I'm like, oh, but I do like it. Like, I like the color story. I just think the palette is too big. And yeah, just skeptical about the quality. So I'd want to touch it in person first, but we don't really get Makeup Revolution around here. We do, but like not the collabs very often. That's why I'm going to anti-haul this one, even though it is cute and it is kind of tempting. I will not be purchasing it. Next up, this is by Beauty Bakery. This is Sweet Potato Pie. I think it's an eyeshadow palette. Okay, I think the reason that I don't want to purchase this is I'm not American and sweet potato pie just sounds like really gross. I feel like it's very much an American thing. I don't really know anyone who eats sweet potato pie here in Canada. And normally I do like food collabs, but like food that I like and are like sweet themed, like the Ice Cream Dreams by Glamlight. Okay, if we're gonna talk about Glamlight, I like the Ice Cream Dreams one. I don't even know what else. Didn't they launch like a cupcake one? I like the Too Faced chocolate bar, like sweet things. But then you get to Glamlight where they did like the burger palette, the pizza palette, and like, no thanks. I don't wanna put an eyeshadow called Red Onions all over my eyes. It just doesn't sound very pleasant to me. So this kind of falls under that category. On top of that, I have all of these shades. It's really nothing special. The only thing that's slightly intriguing is that pop of green, but I already have that. I bet I could dupe this palette so very easily. So that's why I'm not going to purchase it. On top of the fact that the concept kind of scares me a little bit. It scares me, I'm so dramatic, but I don't like it, okay? Next up is a palette by Huda Beauty, and I was kind of surprised that I anti-hauled this. Well, I'm not really. Here's the thing with Huda Beauty. She doesn't launch eyeshadow palettes very often, like in the big size, like the big 18 pans. I think she does them about once a year around this time, and lately they just all look the same. She wanted to do cool tones that could work on every skin tone, but everything looks very light and pastel to me here, so I don't really see how that is like a thing. Not only that, but why did she have to do one of those jelly shadows again? Like, I thought enough people didn't like that. So I'm surprised she included that again. I don't know, it just all looks very similar to like things that she's launched in the past. It kind of looks like the Mercury Retrograde palette had a baby with like the Desert Dusk palette. I don't know. I don't really like it, and it looks too similar to number one, things that I already have, and number two, Huda Beauty palettes that I already have. So that's why I will not be purchasing this one. I'd be really interested to see what you guys think of it if you tried it. I know Lauren May Beauty did a video on it, but I just haven't gotten a chance to catch up on her videos lately, so I will definitely be interested in hearing her opinion because I really trust her opinion when it comes to eyeshadow formulas. I won't be picking this up because of the color story. I also don't understand how it's going to be flattering on all skin tones with such light pastels. I don't really I don't really know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure deeper skin queens can like figure it out and make a beautiful look with this, but I don't know. Especially with Huda Beauty's formula that's kind of dry and stiff, I just don't see these packing the pigmentation that's needed for like a darker skin complexion. Moving on, this is another ColourPop launch and a lot of people didn't like this one. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas collab. I've never seen Nightmare Before Christmas. Ooh, don't kill me, I'm sorry. I'm not really a movie watcher. I've learned that about myself as I've gotten older. Like, I haven't seen Star Wars, I haven't seen anything. Like, no big franchises. Harry Potter I've seen like snippets of, but like I haven't watched them. I've read the books, but I'm just not a movie watcher, so I've never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas. Someone from the outside who hasn't seen the movie, this just doesn't scream Nightmare Before Christmas to me. Like, I don't really know where the pink is coming from, and when I read the comments on Trend Mood, that seemed to be like a common question that a lot of people had, is like, where's this hot pink coming from? The eyeshadow palette, it's pretty, but it doesn't really like speak to me, and since I don't love the intellectual property, I'm kind of like, I don't really care. The Jelly Much shadows, I think they're Jelly Much shadows. It comes in like a little kit of 3. That's what would be most intriguing for me because I really like the Jelly Much shadows. The thing is though, they just dry out so quickly, so I can't see myself purchasing any of this really. A little disappointed by this one, and I know a lot of the Nightmare Before Christmas fans were as well. Next up, I think this is a weird one. This one's from Dominique Cosmetics. It's the Coral Blossom palette. Why is this being launched now? I don't understand when brands do this. Same with the Tarte Lid and Bloom palette I discussed earlier. Like, it's very springtime. This would make sense for a spring launch, and I'd be probably pretty excited about it. Maybe not enough to purchase it, but I would be excited. It is pretty, but like, why are we doing florals and butterflies for Christmas? That's what I don't understand. I want like rich berries and pretty golds and, you know, like really sparkly shades. So this does not fulfill all of my Christmas desires or winter desires even. This just makes me want to go on vacation so I can experience some warm weather for the first time in months. I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that bad here in Canada yet. It's not speaking to me. Don't love it. Don't love the time of year that it's launching. Doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, another product by Dominique Cosmetics that really speaks to me quite a bit more, but I'm still not gonna purchase it. I'm just like ripping on Dominique Cosmetics today apparently. I don't even know what this is called. The Unconditional Palette. It has a pressed glitter though, and I'm trying to avoid pressed glitters unless they're sent to me. Again though, like, I don't understand what the coral shades are about. Like, there's 2 corals in here that I don't really understand. This one does speak more to like the time of year though. Like, it's burgundy. I like that it's a smaller color story. The promo pics are so cute with like the pine cones and the pine, and I don't know, I really like that part, but I'm trying to avoid pressed glitters right now unless they're sent to me, which is usually just by ColourPop, but I'm trying to avoid actively purchasing them until I do a little more research regarding, you know, like biodegradable options and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go out and actively purchase them, if that makes sense. The one thing though is like, what's with the corals? What's with 2 corals in the same 6-pan palette that look very similar? And the 2 light golds also look very similar. So I just wish there was a little more variety. I feel like a pretty forest green would look great in here. And then I'd like switch out one of the corals and one of the light shades for something else. So you could really create like some nice different looks. I feel like every look you're gonna create is gonna be the same because all you have is like 2 corals and 2 golds and then like a deep berry to deepen. So every look is gonna be like more or less the same. So that's why I'm not gonna be purchasing this, but I do like this palette more so than the previous one for this time of year and this launch. And the last one I wanna talk about is Disney Madness Holiday 2021 between Disney and Beauty Bay. If I see one more Disney collab, I'm going to scream. It has been non-stop for like 2 years now. Everyone's been collabing with Disney and it is driving me insane. I'm over it. I don't want to see it anymore. Like, everything's been done already. Not only that, but these palettes are kind of like mediocre looking at best. Why are all the shades so light? I get it, but like I don't at the same time. Why do you have 2 shades of blue that are almost identical, a shade of white and a pink so light that they look the same? I don't know, I don't really understand it and I don't like it. I've mentioned on my Instagram stories a lot that I'm really sick of the Disney collabs and a lot of people seem to agree with me. Don't get me wrong, I do love like a good Disney collab, but it's just been happening too frequently and it's so often that I'm just so over it and it doesn't feel special anymore, you know, like everything's been done already. So this one is a serious pass for me, even though I do like Beauty Bay's formula. And I think that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I just really appreciate you being here. It helps out my channel so very much by you watching, so thank you. Please leave any video requests you may have in the comments down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!